My mother was a teacher. My father worked a number of jobs, and then we had the farm that I grew up with my cousins and my aunts and my uncles and those kinds of things. So we had a very strong family dynamic as well. It was not all good. My father suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder, which was brought on as a combat veteran in Vietnam. And it certainly defined the way that I view mental illness. That the healthy respect for mental illness as something that cannot be changed and must be helped is something I learned through my youth. I grew up on a road called Pine Chapel Road. It's a little country road. There's no line in the middle. I mean, it's not even a 2-lane road. It wasn't then. I was 15 years old, 14 years old, and there was a fellow named Jim Langford who had some maps out on the side of the road. I asked Mr. Langford what he was doing. He said he was plotting these archaeological sites on the map. I had been surface collecting with my daddy since I was a kid, going in the fields and looking for arrowheads and whatnot. And I was like, I can tell you where to go to find stuff. And so I started spending time with Jim Langford, finding and recording these sites. And when I was 17, he asked me to come and work on a full-scale excavation on the Etowah River up in Canton, Georgia. And it turned out to be one of the biggest sites that had ever been excavated in Georgia, and that just hooked me. And so after that, I went to school, got my degree in anthropology, and became an archaeologist for a number of years. Every personal experience you have helps you practice law. The thing is to listen to what your personal experiences were and to help them guide you. The first law firm I worked for, it was a massive corporate law firm in downtown Atlanta. I lived on the 43rd floor of America. This particular firm represented all the people that I now bring actions against. Major car manufacturers, where the car manufacturers had known that their cars were causing death or destruction. And they were my job was trying to mitigate the losses of these companies to the pain and suffering of the folks that had lost their family members. Working for that type of an organization, they only see decimal points. They don't see the stories. They don't see the son. They don't see the daughter. They don't see the grandmother. All they see are decimal points, and I just didn't want to be a part of that anymore. I see a lot more than decimal points. My job is to allow my client the opportunity to tell their own story. And the story may be different than what the actual events were that I'm providing representation for, whether it's a car wreck, whether it's a medical malpractice or something along those lines. But I tell my clients, the most important thing in your case is how you are going to present to a jury if we get there. Juries understand stories. Juries understand what a person like they themselves go through. Because if you've got a story of overcoming obstacles that now you can't overcome anymore, that changes the ballgame in the minds of a jury. So stories are important.